Hey everybody, it is Wavy697, and today it's a little bit of a different video. I'll be telling you the story of my basketball career, which isn't really a career because I don't make any money off of it. But before I tell you about that, I just want to let y'all know I moved in my front yard. See, the trailer I was living in is starting to break down, so we just got a new trailer. So I moved to my front yard. So I mean, yeah, but I still live in the same place. So yeah, here's a story. So I remember I was about going about the third grade. I'd always play pickup with my friends, right? But the thing is that I was really bad at basketball. Like I didn't even know the rules. Like I was grabbing the ball, running out of bounds with it, and then no one passed me the ball, right? Understandably, bro. But 3 years go by, right? And then I started watching like Stephen Curry game stuff, and I fell in love with basketball. Steph Curry is my favorite player, by the way, right? So when it came around fifth and sixth grade, I started practicing every day. And eventually, I played this one pickup game, and I remember they never passed me the ball, but I got the ball 2 times that game, and I hit 2 shots to lead my team to victory. And I remember that was I was so excited, and but I worked relentlessly at my game every day going home, right, trying to make the team. Now I was never the popular kid, but I just figured, I was this back in Arab that, if you're good enough, you make it no matter how popular you are, right? So we go in the tryouts, and so uh, we go into it, right? And at the beginning of the tryouts, the coach says, talks to us about how some of us won't make the team because there's like 32 kids. And then I remember he did this exactly. He looked around, he said, some of y'all will make it, but then I remember he looked right at me specifically. He was like, some of y'all won't make it. And I was like, this guy's got a vendetta against me. I'm not making this team. But I gave everything I had that tryouts, and I put it all on the floor, and I played decently well. Now, I didn't play the best, so I understand why he wouldn't put me on the team because I was a point guard, I couldn't handle the ball. But there's some people there that I feel like I should have had a spot over, but it is what it is. But really, what I realized is that all the popular kids made a team, and everybody who wasn't didn't make the team, no matter how good they were. So uh, I told myself I'm gonna work on my game even more when I go into seventh grade, right? So I could get good enough to make the team. But I was working on my game relentlessly every day after school and playing pickup during school. And then uh, I just remember, uh, eventually I moved to Lacey Springs to live with my dad. I was with my grandma before, but and when I moved here, right? uh I moved to the new school, and the first day I remember this specifically, right? I was in class, there were a lot of acres, I was seventh grade at the time, and then they asked, hey, do you play basketball? I said, yeah. They said you should go play on the team. And then I remember my friend Chapman, uh my fault for saying his name, but he pretty much pulled up and said, hey, yo, you trying to join the team? I said, yeah. And he said that he was basically a recruiter for the team, and he was recruiting me, right? So PE class comes by, and I walk up to coach and I say, uh, I play basketball. Is it okay if I join y'all's team? He said, well, the season already started, but you can get a tryout if you want. And I said, I shoot mid range and play defense. It's all right if I join. And then I remember he said, all right, we can get you a tryout. So a little bit of time goes by. I didn't have my physical yet, so I had to get that. But eventually I went into practice. And let's just say I had a lot to work on. But I was still working relentlessly on my game. Some days I take off, but I think that was when I worked hardest on my game, right? But I slowly started to get better and better. I wasn't playing on a team though. I was a manager, which is basically like you go to every practice, but you just don't play in the games, right? And actually, just to show you, I'm not capping. Uh, Here's a picture. That's me right there. Uh, but I remember, right? I was still working really hard on my game, and every game, and we were going through a better season. We were a really bad team. We won one game all season, but midway through the season, this one guy came in. I'm not gonna say his name, but let's just say he was like really good, like varsity first year kind of player, right? and then that led us to our first win. And we were going into a tournament, right? Going against the favorite to win the championship, Union Hill. We got blown out, but we did better than we did the first game of the season against them. And so the off season came, and I just kept working and working on my game. Well, actually, no, yeah. And then I kept working. I got a little bit lazy, but I just kept working and working. And eventually, trials come up at the end of the year, right? So we're heading to tryouts, and I'll tell you what, I'm so nervous because all these years of work on my game, and for about 3 years straight, all comes down to this one tryout, And I remember I pulled in there. We were doing this one drill 3-on-2, where it's basically like three people go down the court and there's two defenders, and then two people go down the court and then there's one defender. So I remember, basically, it was my first time going down the court, and I had the ball right. I went to the right wing, and then I remember, and coach didn't like this, but I just remember out of natural habit, because I was watching like and1 last night, like and1 mixtapes from the professor. I hit the behind the back pass, and it got my guy open, but coach was like, "No, don't pass like that." But then I got it back, and I remember this specifically. I hit a step back to a point where it's legal from the 3-point. I don't know if it's 3 or midi, and I shot it. And it wasn't really skilled, but it went in nothing but net. And I was thinking, I might have a chance of making the team. Not to be cocky or nothing, but we kept going by, and I was playing decently well. And but day 2 come by, I was playing pretty bad, but I did really good at the end. And day 3 came by, and I'll tell you what, day 3. Think about if like somebody went from playing on like their real build to a 60 overall. Not saying I was good before, but like I was absolutely trash. I couldn't hit a shot, man. I remember at the end of practice, at the end of tryouts, bro, I started like crying because I thought, I'm not making this team, bro. I'm absolutely dropping an egg. But coach calls all the 8th graders, which are 7th graders, come to 8th grade, into the locker room, right? And he says, gives his little talk, right? And he says, "I just letting you know that if you're in this locker room, you made the team." And I remember I just bursted out. I said, "Let's go!" I couldn't hold it in, and I started crying like crazy. And everybody there probably thought I was a weirdo, but they didn't know. They just didn't know the kind of journey I went through trying to make this team, right? But and then a little bit of time went by, and then summer games came, right? So the first game, I remember I walked in. I didn't know any of the plays, but coach subbed me in about the first quarter, and I went out there, and I didn't know anything. I'll tell you what, it only took like 1 minute. He subbed me out, and he was like, "You gotta lay back on the point guard, your small forward." And I was like, "Huh?" And then second game come by, and I got subbed in garbage minutes, and I was like, "Well, dang, man." Not to be complaining or nothing, but I was like, well, I worked to make this team. Now I got to work to get a good starting lineup. In fact, it's really sad to say, but the entire summer league, you could say, not really summer league, but the entire summer games we were playing, I didn't score 1 point. It's really sad, honestly. Even though you could say it doesn't matter because I was playing garbage minutes, still, man. And I remember every time I got on the floor, I was so nervous, bro. But now I'm going into the regular season, and now, I got a little bit lazy, but now I need to start getting back to working on my game. But that's basically the story of my basketball career. If you stick to the end of the video, you're a real one, man. I'm not about to beg you to sub. If you want to sub, you can, bro. But just thank you for watching to the end, man. I hope y'all had a good day, and see you.